I remember that time, honey. I remember that time. Welcome back to the channel, everybody. I am Lady Nika and with the Midday Brunch. Now, I know that I may be in them comments down there, and I'm sorry if I disappointed you, but I'll be in the comments as much as I possibly can tomorrow. I'm recording this on Monday, March the 14th. You won't see this until Tuesday, March the 15th, and it will be a part of the midday brunch. It will be the midday brunch. I had planned to come live and do all of this with you guys, but I found out today someone cared enough about me that I'll actually be having a spa day tomorrow, and hopefully I can run by the nail shop as well. I tried to go to the nail shop today, girl, after I got out this live with y'all, and girl, it was 157 damn people in there, and I'm still, I'm scarred, girl. Rona did some. Cora and her cousins, when they had grabbed me in January, they did something to me. I'm scared of them hoes, okay? So hopefully if I can get everything done, if I don't know if I'm gonna go to the spa first, so I'm gonna wind up going to the nail shop tomorrow. Either way, y'all know I'm a woman that cares about. I told you self-care is the best care, honey. So I'm going to be incognito around these parts, and so I had to put my content out because we are still doing March Madness over here in the den. That means one video every day for the month of March. So since I won't be with you on in the live, it's actual live, it'll be a premiere. I'm gonna try to do everything I can to make sure that I'm down there in the comments with you guys talking ish and swallowing spit. Girl, come on, we talking shit and swallowing spit. This the den, honey. That's what we do. So welcome, welcome, welcome to everybody that's here. Now let's get into the stories that I felt like I wanted to talk about. Now, the first story involves these two gentlemen right here. These two. Let me get them up on the screen. It involves these two gentlemen right here. That is D.L. Hughley and one and only Kanye West. Well, on March the 13th, Kanye West woke up with something on his spirit, and he was threatening to hurt comedian D.L. Hughley for speaking on the rapper's messy divorce. In the process, he also calls out Charlemagne the God, Perez Hilton, and others. He hopped on Instagram and got some things out his chest, sharing a TikTok of Kim Kardashian in goth looking face paint. Let me see if I can get that picture for y'all that set it all off on. Let me see if I can catch that picture. Set him all the way off, child. Set him all the way off. Yes, it did. Now, let's get into what happened. He expressed his anger over his daughter, North, being on the social media app. I told y'all before about this TikTok stuff. Now my 8-year-old on here singing, she fell in love with an emo girl. Kanye wrote in what is now a deleted post. In the actual TikTok video, Kim, North, and Kourtney Kardashian, daughter of Penelope, sing Machine Gun Kelly's Emo Girl featuring Willow. Leftists don't want, hold on, y'all. Leftists don't want fathers to have no say in our children's lives. I don't want my kids at godless Sierra Canyon School. I got a voice, and I'm not having this. And Perez Hilton, you still ain't answered my question and never put my name next to the word abuse. Don't play with my name like that. I am a real person who wants the best for my children. In the same post, Kanye expressed pointed anger at D.L. Hughley. D.L. is a pawn. Yeah, I know a king not supposed to address a pawn, but I address everything and find addresses, D.L. So don't speak on me or my children. I can afford to hurt you, Kanye added. In a follow-up post, Kanye uploaded a video of Hughley passing out on stage in 22 due to having cholera. We gonna stop letting practicing drug addicts be used by leftists to willy lynch our future black people with our own opinion, are not allowed to speak in public. Kanye captured. I am the glitch DL God does not like you. You have no favor. Your family hates you. I would hate to be related to someone who used to be famous. Now you just known as a broke pawn. At least Oprah got billions, allegedly. Come on, leftists. Y'all got to do better than this DL. This, oh, child. This ye bring the real smoke, baby. He also called out the Breakfast Club Charlemagne the God. Show your real face, he said. Just don't hit the same, just don't hit the same, do we? Who y'all gonna get now? God is with us and you send DL to be against us? You've lost no brilliant Hugh we're about to y'all no more. Only dumbass drug addicts, house niggas. Don't play me and don't play with God. Anybody related to DL, call Chris McLean at Adidas for Yeezus. They not free. We running a business over here. He just letting you see Skeet missing work. Anybody else want to play with me? Please, 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 for the love of God, come and get me. Let's see how it turns out. Now, I read that as he wrote it, child. In a third post, Kanye noted that DL lives in his area. What? DL lives in Calabasas? Yo, God is good. Kanye captioned a screenshot sharing the comedian's city of residence. Kanye apparently is angry by DL's recent interview on Vlad TV on February 25th, in which DL comments on Kanye's behavior during his divorce from Kim Kardashian. He's stalking her, he said. You can't think that it's cute. If it was my daughter, I'd do something about it. I don't think it's funny. If you want your family back, stop doing the shit that you do that made her leave. You didn't stop after taking aim at Hughley. He continued to call out Kim on Instagram. The rapper again insinuated that she has kept Kanye from seeing North on multiple occasions, including Sunday service. Now, I went to look because, child, they had removed. Kim is officially single after being granted a divorce earlier this month. Okay, that's what the article says. Now, I went over and I went to looking for what had been going on. I want these these deleted tweets. And guess what I found? The deleted tweets. That's him going off on Kim Kardashian. Y'all can focus in and see it all you want. This was the second half of the now deleted tweet. And here are DL Hughley's replies. First, ain't no way in hell I'd ever be scared of a dude who wears "I know what you did last summer" boots. Okay. He went on to say, I ain't worried about Kanye supposedly has all these goons who will kill for him, but not one of them will get his prescriptions filled. Here's a thought while you're on your way to kill me in Calabasas. How about you drop by CVS and pick up his Xanax? LOL. Team DL. I said, oh, baby, this thing is really getting ugly between the two of them. It really is getting ugly. Look, this is how I feel. We all know that Kanye is left of center, okay? But I do believe that he loves his children. But I do think that there's something missing there. I don't think that, see, what's the best way I could say this? Let me get on camera so I can see this. I don't think that he's completely crazy. I think that a lot of stuff is happening that's out of ways, out of source from his normal. And I ain't talking about just him and that girl breaking up. I told y'all they are some Armenian witches, okay? Y'all did not want to believe me when I said that about 6 years ago. Them some Armenian witches. But I don't think that everything is as cut and dry as it appears. They want you to think Kanye's stupid, but there's something going on. You see what I'm saying? It's something seriously going on. And the way it's being presented to the public, it seems like he had an outburst and he needs to take his medication, right? But something in my spirit say that everything ain't as it seems. I believe some things are going on. Now, I think he does suffer with some mental issues. And I've said that ever since his mother passed, I feel like he has not been the same Kanye. But I think the fact that people know that, especially the people that he was formerly, entangled with, his in-laws and them, I feel like they playing him out to make him look like he's stupid, and I don't think that all of this is stupidity on his part. I don't think he just acting erratic. I think it's more than what we are actually seeing. But what I think he needs to do is he needs to sit back, relax, first of all, get his medications calibrated because that could be part of it, but it's definitely not all. And be the genius that we know him to be and strategize on how to be a part of his children's life and have his voice just as important as Kim's. But will I say this brother crazy? I won't. Because I just feel like in the book of my mind that Kanye ain't as crazy as people thinking he is. And I think that when you have a history having erratic behavior and it's associated with some type of mental disorder. Anytime you speak out and the masses don't like it, they're going to somehow try to print you as crazy. You see what I'm saying? So I think he really needs to sit back. He needs to re-strategize and make sure that he is mentally sound completely. Because I'm not saying that he ain't got some form of a mental break, but I don't think this man crazy at all. I don't think he crazy at all. And it's only a matter of time before we find out how not crazy he truly was. It's things happening that they know that will trigger him, that Kim is doing. And it ain't just messing around with somebody else. There are things she's doing that she knows that will trigger him. But because he does not possess emotional intelligence, it's very easy for them to make him look like he's crazy because of the history. I think that he needs to get himself together so that when he does speak, it's not menacing, it's not threatening, and he's able to complete thoughts. He's able, if you're gonna write it in complete thoughts. It's okay to do ebonics. I do it every day right down here in this den. But I'm just telling you that he gonna have to dot his I's and cross his T's with this. Because he's up against a force. Now he's a force himself, but he's a force with a past of mental instability. And they're going to use that to their advantage, okay, to paint him in a light that is not fair to him. I don't like it. I don't think that he's crazy. I don't think that he's making nothing up. I think that he's being triggered, and they know that again he lacks emotional intelligence. So he's gonna come out here and he's gonna act a fool. But whose fault is that truly? Mm. Anyway, on to the next story, guys. Let me know down there what you think about it. Do you think Kanye, because he left the center, this is all a part of some form of a manic state that he's in? Or do you think that somehow the Kardashians are doing things to trigger him, knowing that he lacks emotional intelligence and that he will act out, and that is exactly what they want him to do? That's why they're doing the stuff to make him seem as if he's not fit. Let me know what you think as we move to the next story. Mr. Let me cue it up, y'all. I'm going to let you see what I'm talking about here. No, this ain't the right one. This ain't the right one. Um, okay. Now let me do a little screen sharing with y'all real quick. Girl, I'm getting better at this screen share thing. Ain't going good. Okay.
Caught on camera hitting a student has now been arrested. Police say formal charges are pending against Mike Kaczynski. Surveillance video shows the former teacher at a high school in Elkhart grabbing the student, pushing him against the wall, and then hitting him, causing him to fall. Before he was arrested, the school allowed Kaczynski to retire early. The student falls right there. He was a teacher and coach for 40 years.
That's incredibly hard to watch.
Yeah. Indiana teacher caught on.
Okay. Now, let me give you a little preview. Let me get back to my StreamYard. Girl, I'm learning how to work this thing. Let me keep him in mind now. Let me give you the article. A now retired Indiana high school teacher who was arrested after video showed him hitting a student during a confrontation over a hooded sweatshirt on school grounds was charged Friday with battery. That is according to court documents. Security footage obtained by CNN shows the incident on February the 25th at Jimtown High School in Elkhart, Indiana. In the video, teacher Michael Hozinski jogs down a hallway at the school, appearing to chase a student, grabs the students by the backpack. Hozinski, he's 61 years old, pointed his finger at the student and then hits the student in the face, knocking the student's head into the wall. As the student holds their head with one hand, Hozinski grabs the student by the arm and begins to pull the student down the hallway before the student falls to the ground. At that point, another adult appears in the video and Hozinski walks away from the student. A judge on Friday determined that there was probable cause to charge Hozinski with causing moderate injury, a level 6 felony, the court docket shows. Hozinski was arrested Thursday after police investigation, and he was released the same day on $1,500 bond, according to the document. Now, the news people have not been able to determine if Hozinski has legal representation, and he could not be reached for comment. Hozinski is a 40-year veteran who has school social media posts named him Teacher of the Year for 2020. Had planned to retire as a world civilization and sociology teacher in June, according to school board meeting minutes in January. Less than 2 hours after Hozinski hit the student on February the 25th, he was requested that the Bago Community School Board grant him early retirement, says the superintendent in a letter to families on Sunday. On February the 28th, the school board unanimously approved the early retirement request. Hozinski will receive all usual benefits, a source familiar with school board policy said. The student suffered bloody nose and a lip, document shows. The altercation began after Hozinski confronted the student about wearing a hooded sweatshirt to class on February the 25th. Hoods are not allowed in school except on special days, per the school's handbook. From there, a verbal exchange ensued, and Hozinski slapped the student in the face, and the student's head hit the wall, causing visible injuries. The principal of the Elkhart County of the school reported it to the Elkhart County Sheriff's Office that a teacher at the high school had battered a student, which resulted in injury. The police officer called to the scene saw an abrasion and a lump on the student's head. The student told the officer that Hozinski instructed him to leave the classroom. After he left, The student said Hozinski followed him down the hallway, grabbed his backpack, and hit him across his face, which caused his head to hit the brick wall of the hallway. The student told the officer he felt a throbbing pain in his head and had a bloody nose and a bloody lip. Medical staff treated the student immediately, and administrators contacted the Elkhart County Sheriff Office and the Indiana Department of Child Services. The director of communications for the Indiana Department of Child Services said in an email, unfortunately, Indiana confidentiality laws prohibit us from commenting on DCS involvement, even to confirm or deny an investigation. Now, let me get back to my StreamYard. I know that it's hard to be an educator. These ain't the same type of children that they used to be. But you know that. You're trained that how to de-escalate situations. You see what I'm saying? And I feel like he took it too far. Maybe he was having a bad day, because teachers are human beings as well. They have good and bad days just like we all. But to cause injuries to where the boy got a lump on his head, a busted lip, and his nose bleeding, that's a little bit taking it too far. So I think that it's wise that they allow Mr. Hozinski to go ahead on and receive his early retirement, because maybe this job has got to be a little bit too much for him, and he can't handle these new age kids. But based on what I was reading to you guys, I don't understand why it escalated to what it was. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. You ain't got no right to be putting your hand on nobody's kids to the point where you draw blood or cause any type of lumps or bumps to appear on them. There are other ways to discipline children in school without putting your hands on them. See, that little 5-year-old that I told you about this weekend, they needed to have, that little 5-year-old may have needed Mr. Hozinski. Maybe that's the type of teacher that he did it. But I can't understand, nor can I make up any type of reasoning why this man would do that. I can't make concessions for utter madness. And to me, he may have snapped, but I don't understand what caused that. And you have to be in control of you when you're dealing with other people's children, because you are governed by laws, and clearly you broke them. You better be glad you ain't wind up with more of a charge than what you got. So I think it would be wise for him to take his old ass somewhere and retire and sit down somewhere before he wind up. If they let him stay as teacher, he was gonna wind up getting hurt. Because see, all parents don't play by their children nowadays, and that's just fact, okay? And based off of him wearing a hoodie and you telling him that's against school bylaws, you had every right to do so. But where you dropped the ball, sir, was when you drug him down the hallway and hit him and made him bump his head to the point where he has a lump on his head, his nose started bleeding, and there was an abrasion on his lip. You took it too far with that. So yeah, it's probably best that he gone on and retire, child. Because if he don't, somebody gonna retire him, okay? That's it. That's all on him. Let's move to the next story. This child right here. This child right here. Let me share my screen again, child. Matter of fact, I'm not even going through all that with him. The Cook County Sheriff's Office said last week that Smollet will spend time in jail in protective custody alone in a cell monitored by security guards. Security cameras with a guard stationed at the cell door. While the actor will have substantial time outside of his cell, he will be allowed to interact with staff and make phone calls. He will not mingle with other inmates. The treatment is standard for high-profile inmates at the jail, which houses about 6,000 detainees. Smollet lawyers have filed a notice that they intend to appeal the guilty verdict in the Smollet trial and his sentence of 30 months of probation with the 5 months spent in the Cook County Jail, as well as the $140,000 in fines and restitution. An emergency motion was filed with the District Court of Appeals, asked the court to suspend his sentence to allow Smollet to go free on bond while his appeal works its way through the courts, noting that the actor will almost certainly have completed his jail sentence way before his appeal was litigated. The motion also asks to delay the payment of fines. The filing also states concerns about Smollett's mental health, as if he is kept in protective custody within the jail, that he could face violence from other inmates. Smollet has a target of vicious threats online, and no doubt reflects the hatred and the wish of physical harm towards Smollet, which he may experience during his incarceration, the motion states. A letter from a doctor that states Smollet has unnamed health issues could put him at a greater risk if he should contract COVID-19. The motion includes a long list of issues to be raised when his full appeal is filed, including that special prosecutor Dan Webb was inappropriately appointed after Smollet had reached a controversial deal with State's Attorney Kim Foxx's office to dismiss the case shortly after he was charged in 2019. Smollet was found guilty in December on 5 counts of disorderly conduct for making false statements to police when he reported he was a victim of hate crime near his Streeterville apartment in 2019. The case attracted national attention, with the openly gay Black actor days after he was assaulted, giving an interview on Good Morning America that included a tearful account of being attacked by 2 white men who shouted racist and homophobic slurs as they hit him and looped a noose around his neck. The massive Chicago police investigation that ensued eventually determined that Smollet hired his personal trainer and the trainer's brother, both of whom are Black, to stage the attack as a publicity stunt. A veteran attorney said the appeals bonds are rarely granted, only when issues raised for an appeal seem strong enough to overturn a conviction. In the best of times, and that was before COVID, an appeal takes 18 months to 2 years. So he certainly will have completed the jail portion of his sentence. All of this is coming up because he is said to be in a psych ward, okay? And his lawyers are adamantly trying to get him released from jail. Now, I ain't gonna lie, it was some type of disconnect when that judge actually imposed that sentence upon him. That's why he had them outbursts. But that is a normal reaction of someone who is basically a narc, and he didn't believe that he would be caught or found guilty. It had nothing to do with him having no mental disconnect. He didn't have no real mental disconnect. It was the shock of it all, because how dare they try to impose a jail sentence upon this boy from such a prominent background. That's what I got. If he's having a hard time adjusting to life inside, he should have thought about all of that before he came up with that elaborate lie that used police resources unnecessarily. He should have thought about that before he wrote them letters. He should have thought about that before he got on national TV and made a complete fool of himself and tried to be the face of those of gay men and women who are here going through these hate crimes. You tried to be a part of a movement that you were not a part of. So all this extra effort going into doing all of this is 5 months, bro. You already shame. You will sit in the hall of shame for quite some time, if not forever. And the more antics you pull out of your ass, the less sympathy that I have for you. You are wrong, Jussie Smollet, and you don't deserve nothing. You lucky it wasn't worse. Normally us, we get it way worse. But see, your light skin privilege afforded you some extra, leniency. Because I feel like he got off lenient. Let that have been Pojo and them down the street pull that shit. They'd have did a hell of a lot more time than 5 months, and they'd have a hell of a lot more fines to pay. So I think he should quit while he is ahead. Just do the time, bruh. It ain't no special one gonna be waived and you gonna be able to get out of there. Them people say go sit down and do that 5 months. And your appeal process, according to the article, is going to take way more time to even make it through the legal system than the time that you were sentenced to. So how about you just take that? Understand where you were wrong at and stop trying to fool us because we know. Stop lying to yourself and then you'll find a way to stop lying to us. You upset, you shook because you're a privileged boy. You ain't used to being behind no jail cell. But see, this is what happened when you get out here and do thug nigga shit. You getting thug nigga reactions and consequences, and you'll be the hell all right. Go sit your ass down somewhere. Learn how to knit or something. Better yet, learn how to be a better human being in the 5 months that you got to sit your ass there. Because you had all of us in our feelings and worried about you until the facts of the story of the case started to unfold and we saw the lie that you was. He getting on my goddamn nerve. He is acting just like that judge said before he sentenced him. You acting spoiled, unappreciative, you acting entitled, and you are not. You're an American citizen who better be lucky that you do have some form of privilege, because that's the only reason why I think your ass ain't getting more time. So why you shaking the tables and trying to make people think that you ain't in no more greater risk than anybody else that goes to jail. When you did this here, we was running into a COVID. So you should have thought about all of that. There were many times where you could have stopped, but you didn't. And even upon sentencing, you still held firm to your lie. I didn't do this. I am not suicidal. See, when you said that, I said, oh, I see the play. I see the play. I see the play like it's plain and clear. He finna act like he having mental issues as a result of being in this jail. No, you ain't having no mental issues from being in that jail. You just mad and you think that you pulling stunts. See, in the beef sector, we call them junkie stunts. You gonna be the hell all right. But leave these people alone and leave us alone because we tired of hearing that. Child, let's get to the next story. Because I done held y'all long enough. Let me get to the next one. We will be discussing her. She is the white she is the white TikTok star that dumped her black boyfriend after hearing him talk shit about black women. Now, let me share my screen because I'm going to let y'all listen to a little audio and then I'm going to come through with what I got to say about him, not her. Let me find her.
I'm not a little upset. I'm just trying to understand what makes black women not beautiful to you. What makes dark-skinned women not beautiful to you? You dated Fabby?
Yes.
That was a dark-skinned woman.
Yeah. Have you seen any of the dark-skinned women on my Facebook page after Fabby? No.
But the fact is, that's your own people. How can you not find black beautiful?
I just don't. I don't find black women attractive. That's just me.
That just doesn't make sense to me.
I know. I get that. I get you're confused and probably a little bit upset. But it's just
because every time I show you a pretty woman, you're like, no, she's too black. The fuck is too black?
Black as fuck. Burn. Crispy.
But that's beautiful. Black is beautiful. That's where we all came from. We all came from black people. That's where how the
Child. I don't even know what the hell to say about some shit like that. Let me make sure that that was all of that article. Girl, that made me mad. Yeah, I think that was it. Okay, so let me just run this down to you. This white girl right here was dating a black boy, a black male. He got a problem with black people, meaning he got a problem with his damn self. Now, I totally agree with young lady that says, what's wrong with you? Don't you see that you don't like your own people, your own kind? If y'all think he the only one like that, you crazy as hell. It's plenty self-hating black people around here. All you got to do is listen to them. Now, we all entitled to a preference, and I ain't got no problem with it. But what we don't have a right to do is to tear down our own. You can like light, bright, damn near white, and I ain't got no problem with that. What I got a problem with is when you start being so derogatory toward your own. I don't know what space you be in when you get that way, but my thing is this. Black women are happy that he feels that way. That's one less bum of a nigga that we gotta deal with, ladies. That's one less that we gotta even deal with. How can you say that black is burnt? Is your mama burnt? Is your mama burnt? Is your daddy burnt? Are your family members, your aunties, your uncles? Do you got any siblings? Are they burnt? So you see black as when you see black, you see everything wrong with that. Well, I'm gonna tell you what I see when I see black, and I don't give a damn who it is, baby. When I see black, I see beauty, unmatched beauty. It's so, and we are so motherfucking beautiful because we come in all shades, honey. You got your extra dark on down to your light skins. And we are all beautiful women and men in this world today. I don't know what happened to you that you can't embrace the skin that you in. And again, you have a right to have a preference, but you don't have a right to have a prejudice against your own. Because if it was ever a time that slavery would to return the way it was once upon a time, I hope you don't think that you would somehow ease your way out of that situation. You would be in the field or in the house with the rest of us. America sees you as an African American man. They don't give a damn about your qualifications or nothing else. The first thing they see is your black skin. And you have been and will be judged by that until the day that you drop dead. I don't give a damn if you got lily white sitting on your arm or not. And kudos to the young TikTok star who got rid of that. Because I wouldn't want nothing like that as a boyfriend. I wouldn't want him nowhere near me. A self-hating, self-deprecating ass wipe is what I saw and what I heard. And don't y'all think that it ain't many of him that walks around on this earth today. They find everything wrong with black, yet they sit in black spaces. They sit with the color of black as their color. As their child, you are a black man. How can you be so hateful? This girl was disgusted by you to the point where she broke up with you, and she ain't even black. She's not even white. I mean black. She's a white lady. And she found utter disgust and questioned you about how can you hate your own so much. Y'all better get into it. People of color love who you are. Because people like that, we don't need that. So he one list that we got to worry about. But like I said, don't he never get it in his mind and think that he can be with every white woman he can find. When the world sees you, they see a black man. And they will judge you in many spaces as a result of it. Get into it. I love my melanin. I can't get enough of it. It's sad, and it's something missing inside of you when you have such self-hate for your own. God bless you, because you're going to need it. You sound young, and you also sound dumb as hell. Child, that's all I have to say about that. That brings us to the close of yet another midday brunch. I gave y'all almost an hour, child, almost an hour. But that's it. That's all. Tomorrow will be a premiere. Well, I ain't gonna do no premiere. Tomorrow I will be doing another episode review for Dynasty, circa 1981. Season 1, episode 12. Please join me if you're into the old Dynasty. I'm reviewing the first season of it, and I'm having fun with it. So thank you again to J. Ray and everybody who encouraged me, Really Be TV, Ebby Reviews, everybody that encouraged me to get back on this and just enjoy it. And I'm having a great time. I put a post up on my community board that if you would like to see me discuss any shows, documentaries, or a movie, drop it on that post on my community wall and I'll check it out. Now, if you coming to me with a series that's 7 or 8 episodes in, I'm probably not going to do that because that's too far in. And that requires a lot of work. And I honestly don't have the time to devote to sit there for hours to watch something. But if it's something I can catch up to real quick and be able to talk about it, I have no problem with doing it. Until then, I'll continue to do what I'm doing. And to the person that asked me, did I like Knots Landing? I absolutely do. If enough people ask me about it, I may actually purchase, because I'm buying these seasons. So if enough people come to me, my next retro reviews will probably be Knots Landing if a lot of people say that they want it. If not, then I'm probably going to purchase season 2 of Dynasty and keep rolling with it, because I'm having a ball with these characters, honey. And I'm ready to get to where Dominique Devereaux gets in the scene, baby. You know what that was all about, Miss Diane Carroll, honey. Can't nobody do it like Diane, okay? But that's it. That's all, you guys. Remember, in closing, as always, you do not have to be great to get started, but you must get started in order to be great. And it is the depth of your struggle that will determine the ultimate height of your success. Have a wonderful Tuesday, and I will see you guys back tomorrow for another episode of Dynasty. And then we'll work it from there, y'all. Have a great week. Peace.